Yo guys, I've been getting so many questions as to how I did this effect in my Fortnite montage.
Oh, data moshing? That made me nut so hard.
Okay, so this effect is called data moshing, and today I'm going to show you guys exactly how to do this, and I want to keep it as short and simple as possible, so make sure you guys stick to the end because I'm going to be releasing a big announcement that you're going to want to hear about. So just take note how when I record these, I'm not going to have too much camera motion because the main source of movement I want to be from the character. Now it does not matter what editing software you want to go with. What is important is that you can just put these things together because it literally does not matter what editing software you're using. This is all free. I'm going to be using Adobe After Effects, but you can use whatever you want. Okay, so I got my Fortnite cinematics and I'm in After Effects. So I have my song imported, and again, it doesn't matter what editing software you're using. And I marked the beats that I know I want to transition on. So all we have to do is import the cinematics or clip onto those beats and then export that. Okay, I have lined up where I want my cinematics to transition and where I want it to go into the clip. So all I need to do is export this little snippet in my composition. So if you have things going on before or after this, don't worry because you're just gonna export this little portion of your composition. And you can do this with any editing software. For After Effects, I'm gonna use B to mark the beginning and N somewhere during the clip to mark the end. So basically I just export this, do my little data mosh thing and bring it back into the composition and it'll blend right in. I'm just gonna add this to the render queue and go ahead and export that. I'll call this export. So I'll put that in my data mosh tutorial folder and just export that. And guys, remember, if you're gonna do any color correcting, you have to do that before you export this because as soon as you export this, you're not really gonna be able to change the fundamental imagery of it. Now this is optional, but for After Effects, the AVI file is totally uncompressed, might be a little big. I'm just gonna drag that into Media Encoder to turn it into an MP4. Boost the bitrate up a little bit and export that. And guys, this tutorial is largely based off of Max Novak's super helpful data moshing tutorial. This is the part where you use Avidemux, and the link to this software is in the description. It is very important that you use the software link that I provided because you want to use the version that I'm using to achieve this effect. Okay, so we have our export. Now you're going to look up Avidemux and open up that. Avidemux 2.5. And then let's just open this up. Okay, this might be a little confusing at first, but I swear once you guys get the trick, it'll be much more simple. So I'll go to Open, Data Mosh Tutorial, and just open this export. Every time a message comes up, just click No. Again, I'm gonna link Max Novak's tutorial if you want someone else to explain this, but just make sure you click No for every time they ask you a question. No. Okay, so that is imported. We'll turn this from copy to MPEG for ASP in parentheses xvid. And then we'll go to configure here and go to the frame tab. And this iframe interval, delete that 300, hold 9 down. Take the iframe interval and turn it up to all 9s. Iframes are basically the frames where the pixels transition into like a new clip. So it's super important that you do that. Click OK, that should be good. So we will save that. In my data mosh folder, I'm gonna name this mosh1 and just click save. Awesome, okay, so that is saved. Now I'm gonna open up that file, go to File to Open, and go to that mosh1 file, open that up, and change this from xvid to copy. Cool, so everything's pretty much normal, but now we have the ability to delete iframes or B-frames. So if you look here at frame type I, usually when a clip cuts to a next clip, it's going to be an I type of frame. So the first frame is automatically going to be an I frame. Now if you click this double arrow to the right, it'll go to the next frame, and we'll just ignore that. Then we're going to click it again, and now we are on an I frame. So A is going to select one side, the left side of the frame, and B is going to select the right side. So we just want to delete the iframes. That is our goal. We want to delete the iframes so that the computer can just mess this up. So I'll select A on right when I first get to this frame. I'll use my arrow key to go one frame to the right, click B, and then click delete. So we selected one side and then selected the other side of that frame and just deleted that one singular frame. So if we go to the next double arrow, this is where the clip cuts again, so that's going to be an iframe. So if I click the A and then use my right arrow key to go to the right and click B, we selected that one frame and then delete, and we have gotten rid of that iframe and it is now a B frame. So if we just check by scrolling through these double arrows, you can see that we have gotten rid of the iframes. And now we just want to export this. If you got lost at any part, do not be afraid to rewind that or anything. And I hope you guys are hydrating, drinking your tea. Also, if you want a similar kind of tutorial like this one, you can check out my absinthe tutorial in the top right up here. It is kind of similar to this in that we try using a software called Absinthe, where we use artificial intelligence to get this really cool effect that you've probably seen in Painted Fields or one of my edits. Now if we go to File, Save Video, we just want to name this Mosh 2. And save, and again, click no to everything. And that has been saved. And you would think, okay, cool, chill, let's just play the file and everything should be fine. No, you need to use a certain type of encoder to view this file. So I'm using VLC Media Player. Again, I am providing links that I'm using for this video in the description. So once you have downloaded that link, you can view it. This is optional, just if you want to at least see what it looks like before you convert it into an MP4. This VLC Media Player is going to let us see what this mosh file actually looks like. So let's drag this in and check it out. We'd put that into our composition. The blue sky had a really cool effect on the driving cinematic, so that was really cool. And again, you can experiment with any different kind of order of cinematics or types of cinematics. You might trial and error a little bit, nothing wrong with that. For this example, I'm using one of my songs. If you guys want to hear music from me, Shilarious, on all streaming platforms, my name is Shilarious. There is a link to that in the description, no pressure. I just happen to be using one of my songs, it's called Pace High. Okay, so we have this Mosh 2 file. So if I open up my converter, which I have added a link to that in the description, we're just gonna locate that file and drag this Mosh 2 onto this website and let this convert. So we're gonna start conversion, and it has finished. So we'll download that, take this file and bring it into After Effects, and let's just open up our main comp here and see, you know, if we put this right where we started our export, things should be good. I like this a lot. I mean, it's pretty cool stuff. And since this is its own sequence, we can even mess around with what's beneath it. For example, if I take this second cinematic and put it on top and add a key light or something random, then I can kind of just maybe fade the opacity after the transition and see what this looks like. The opportunities are literally endless. We made this pretty quickly, and do not be afraid to take your time with these things. I've messed around with this so much, and that's the only reason I have some sort of fluidity with this process, because I've failed so many times. I hadn't seen a lot of people use data moshing in Fortnite montages, and it would just be awesome to see what you guys are making with this technique. So don't be afraid to tag me or show me those kinds of edits that you guys are doing with this effect. Now, the big announcement for this video is that I now stream our contests on Twitch, which means you can join up with me. I'm gonna give you clips and cinematics, and it's gonna be on a weekly basis. So I'm so excited to be able to do these on streams with you guys, because we've done it a few times. A lot of you guys have participated, but make sure if you're subbed to Shilafn, where I post my Fortnite montages, and you want to see a little more behind the scenes action, make sure to follow me on Twitch. I'm excited to interact with you guys even more. If you guys want posts like this, make sure to follow me on Twitter and Instagram. If you guys have any questions, drop them in the comments, and I'll try my best to respond to any struggles you guys are encountering with this process. But again, this is data moshing for your Fortnite montages or IRL edits, whatever you guys are doing. Have a wonderful day. Stay cozy, stay hydrated, and stay comfy. I love you. Links are in the description.